Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Horseshoe Talk here on Friday, November 4th, 2022. I got quite a bit to talk about Colts-wise. Colts made a trade there right at the trade deadline. We'll talk a little bit about that. That was after we had already done our show, Horseshoe Talk, on Monday. Got a big game coming up this weekend against New England Patriots. Be interesting to see how Sam Ehlinger looks against a Bill Belichick defense. Belichick usually gives young quarterbacks a lot of trouble. And we just found out today that Jonathan Taylor has been ruled out for Sunday's game. We don't have Nyheim Hines no more, so that means Deion Jackson's going to get probably get quite a bit of the load.
I say Deion and then
Lindsey.
I just
we got Zach Moss too that might get some carries.
They haven't decided yet if he's going to be active.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to be, but they haven't decided.
Yeah, if he's active, that gives another. He's not bad. I mean, at all, but. Joined by Tony Gonzalez as always. How you doing? And,
doing pretty good.
What's your thoughts on I guess let's start out with the Nyheim Hines trade. What's your thoughts on that trade?
I didn't have a problem getting rid of Hines. He was a number 2 guy. I don't think they ever really figured out how to use him right myself. But I think they had just signed a new deal with him. I think it was a money issue more than anything. Taylor's going to be the number 1 guy for a few more years. I think they just signed a new deal. So I just wish they would have got, a
different position than running back.
I would have preferred to got a defensive lineman, a linebacker, or a defensive back, wide receiver. We just lost a defensive lineman, a pretty good one, I think Lewis, if I remember right.
Yep.
And so, I would have liked to see add some depth there, but, it is what it is.
No, I agree. I didn't bother me that they traded Nyheim Hines away because I agree with you. They haven't figured out the way to use him right. And I think in Buffalo, you're going to see Hines maybe flourish a little bit because I think that they'll use him the right way, getting him the ball with some passes, using him out of the slot with all the weapons they have. So I think he could do good there. I think he could have done good in Indy, but we try to use him as just a straight running back. He's not a straight every down running back. He's a guy. He's a playmaker. You get him out in open space with the ball. He can make people miss, and he has pretty good speed. So all we heard all offseason was this package, this new scheme they had for Nyheim Hines this year. Did you see anything any different than what we had seen the last couple of years?
Nope, not at all. I don't know what the hell they was talking about. And the other big thing is too with the Buffalo, with all them receivers they got. Now you bring a guy like Hines in, it's going to be hard to cover. It ain't like that. There's a bunch of rookie receivers like the Colts have. They've got some really deadly receivers on that Buffalo team. So it's going to make it. If they use him right, he could be a big weapon for them. Even though I still think they needed a better running back. Period. I'm not sold on Singletary. He looks good at times, but he's not consistent. I don't feel.
I don't feel he's consistent, but I don't think that's all his fault either. Because there's a lot of times where he don't get many carries, or when he does, it's like they're spread out where I think it's hard for him to get in a rhythm.
Buffalo is a pass team first. They're not a run team first.
Well, their leading rusher is Allen. Which is so big, and
but
I'm not saying that's sustainable for years.
I don't think that's feasible myself.
No, not for over the long term. No, because you're going to end up getting your star quarterback hurt.
Yep.
I know he's a big dude and everything, but I think that Singletary could be the back for him. I just think he needs more carries. I think if he could get more carries consistently, you might see him be a little more consistent. But you're right, he isn't consistent.
Could you imagine if they could have pulled off that deal
for McCaffrey? Yeah, I thought that's where McCaffrey was going to end up, and he ended up in San Francisco. And I'll tell you what, San Francisco is going to be a team to look out for, especially if they get healthy.
If they can be consistent, they just don't seem to be. And they've had a lot of injuries, like you said.
I think injuries is one of the reasons they haven't been real consistent. And a lot of people want to trash on Jimmy Garoppolo, but if you look at his QB rating, he has a QB rating over 100. He's been playing good since he's been in there. He's not always consistent. He makes mistakes. I'm not going to say he's going to make some dumb throws every now and then, but you get Deebo Samuel back and healthy, and you have McCaffrey, and they could be scary. And from what I heard, they're getting quite a few guys back. They're expecting to have quite a few of their guys back this week. Yep. But with the Colts, I understood the trade of why they got rid of Hines. It was a money issue. They freed up money. They'll have more cap room to work with going into this offseason. So I understand that, especially because they haven't, like we said, they haven't figured out how to use them right. So for the amount of money you were paying him, his production wasn't lining up with what you were paying him. Yeah. So I understand the move. I just didn't understand the move of getting a running back in turn. Yeah. I'd rather had 2 draft picks back than another running back. Yeah. I'd rather had maybe like a I think they got a 6, wasn't it? A 5th or a 6th rounder. Yeah, I'd rather had like a 4th rounder and a 6th round, a 4th and a 6th than a running back and a 6 myself. Or you know what I mean? Or if you could have got a 4th and a 4th and a 5th instead of a player. Yeah. If you were going to get a running back, I'd have rather that. Now I would like to see them get, like you said, defensive lineman off. I mean, maybe someone to help your offensive line. Yeah. Wide receiver. I mean, number three position. Wide receiver and offensive lineman, I think, are the 2 positions we're hurting at the most. A defensive lineman would have been nice to add some more depth, but I really think wide receiver and offensive lineman. But if you could have got a couple of draft picks, I think that'd have been better than getting Moss. And nothing against Moss, because I think he could end up being a decent back. We didn't need another running back.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. The Colts got rid of a coach this week. I believe he was the
quarterback, offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator.
Yes. Offensive coordinator.
Scapegoat. Don't you think the guy that if there's going to get rid of anybody shouldn't have been the offensive line coach?
Yeah.
What's been the biggest struggle on the team?
The offensive line coach. I mean, offensive line has been the biggest struggle. If you're going to get rid of anybody, it should have been the offensive line coach or the head coach.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the head coach, but
it didn't make no sense to get rid of the offensive coordinator because he don't call the plays. I can see the offensive line coach maybe being gone. I think he'll be gone at the end of this year.
I think there'll be a lot of people gone at the end of this year. Coaching staff.
I think the only one that might survive might be Ballard. Yeah, and I think this will be maybe his last chance if he don't get the right coach and get some right stuff in there.
In your opinion, I've seen somebody put up a thing who the new coach will be for the Colts, and it's just speculation, of course, but there's all 5 college coaches. I don't want a college coach.
Yeah.
Why do we want a college coach that's unproven? Let's get somebody that's been in the NFL and has had some success or
well, look how many of these college coaches have came in that have failed. I mean, Urban Meyer, look at him last year. Matt Rule, look why he couldn't get Carolina going. I'm not saying that was all his fault because I don't think he ever had the right quarterback and stuff.
And they named 5 college coaches, and I'm like,
and Anthony, I agree with you. You might have to trade to get more picks because your team needs a lot. Well, that's what I'm saying. When they traded Nyheim Hines, I'd have rather him got draft picks back than getting Zach Moss another running back. I'd rather got 2 draft picks than just the 1 draft pick we got in a player. Because I mean, we could use those draft picks in next year's draft.
I don't know that they need a lot.
I don't think we need a lot. I think we need offensive.
We got to get the quarterback situation straightened out one way or another, and then beef up the offensive line, and maybe a veteran wide receiver. That to me, I mean, I'm happy with the young tight ends. I think they'll develop. I don't think Mo Alley Cox will be there next year. Maybe a veteran tight end sign,
especially if Ogletree's healthy. If Ogletree's healthy, I don't see Cox being back. He probably won't be back even if Ogletree ain't healthy because Granson's played decent. I like to see Jelani Woods step up a little more.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I thought Sam Ehlinger played good for his first start.
I did too.
But now, like I said, I've been telling you this. I think this is going to be a real test for him just because Belichick's had a week to prepare for him. And now there was some film on him now. Because going into that game last week, there wasn't a whole lot of film of, you know, I mean, there was no film of him playing an NFL regular season game. Yeah, you could see film of him playing in Texas, maybe some of the preseason, but there wasn't a lot, you know, I mean, you didn't have a lot to go off of. Now you have more to go off of. And we know how Belichick can really cause troubles for young quarterbacks. So I'm really excited to see how Ellinger handles that this week, because I mean, it wasn't his fault we lost that game last week. He threw some good passes. He had the one turnover that he fumbled, but he needs to. But I was hoping we'd be more of a running based offense this week. That might change a little bit now that we lost Taylor, but Deion Jackson's he ran the ball good when he's had his opportunities.
Well, I don't look for I know Anthony said who has trade value and stuff. I don't think that I don't think they're going to trade any players. I think that if anything happened, let's say we get a pretty good draft pick and there's not a quarterback there that they want to pick, you might see them trade down and pick up extra picks pick up extra players.
I think you can get that hooker probably around 9 or 10. I think he'll go probably around 10th. So if we could get a pick around there and end up with him, I'd be happy.
Well, if they like Hooker, I mean, but that depends. What if the guy that's playing now that they're trying Ellinger plays well, and you decide let's say
if Ellinger plays well and you think that he's going to be your guy, you could do what Anthony's saying here. You could with your first pick, you could trade down and turn that first pick into 3 picks.
3 or 4 picks.
If you believe Ellinger's your guy after the end of the season, but if not, I would say they're going to use that number 1 pick either for a quarterback or because you could honestly you could wide receivers you can usually get a good wide receiver in the first round or in the second round.
We didn't lose
so you could trade back and get you a decent wide receiver if Ellinger's your guy. Now if Ellinger ain't your guy, if you don't do something in the offseason, which I don't know who you would go after as a quarterback wise besides the draft, unless somehow like Lamar Jackson came available or something like that. But I don't want to see him go for another old guy. I mean,
can you think other than Lamar Jackson? Can you think anybody? That might be available. I mean, I'm not.
Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo might be available.
But he's not a real young guy either.
Yeah, no, he's not real young, but he's not over the hill like. I mean, he's not. He can move. He's not a statue like Matt Ryan was.
I almost think I'd rather go with Ellinger.
Well, depends on what Ellinger looks like the rest of the season, though. Too.
He showed a strong arm. Showed mobility. I mean, I know it's one game.
Yeah. No, I thought he looked good that first game. I'm just saying it depends on what he does the rest of the season. Now, if I'm not saying Garoppolo is going to be the better option. I'm just saying somebody might be available. Daniel Jones might be available, and he's starting to show a little bit of promise. But that's another thing is how much more promise are you going to see out of Jones than Ellinger? But Daniel Jones has played good this year, cut down on the turnovers, kind of shown what he can do with a good coach. So Jones could be available,
and he's doing it with no receivers.
I like Kirk Cousins, but I don't think he's going to be available the way the Vikings are playing.
But Jones is doing it with no receiver.
Yeah, that's right.
He really is. I mean, they're 6-1, and you don't have no weapons. He's got a great weapon in Barkley, but that's it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He's cut down on the turnovers, so he might play well enough where the Giants end up deciding to keep him because they didn't pick up his option, so he would be a free agent this year.
A lot of people think that. I don't think he's played well enough that he's going to work himself into a great, huge millions of dollars. I'm not saying he's not going to get paid decent, but I think his best bet is that if he can stay with the Giants and get a decent deal,
especially if you can stay with Dable, because Dable seemed to really turn him around, get him to playing a little bit better. And I think it's going to depend on how the second half of the season goes. But if Jones keeps playing well, I think the Giants are going to end up re-sign him because, like you said, you're going to have to break the bank to re-sign him.
Yep.
So it's all going to depend on if Dable believes in him or not. If Dable believes in him, I think they'll sign him. But if not, I think he'll be gone because, if you're the Giants organization, you listen to Dable because look what he's done in his first year. He's already won what more games this year than they won the last couple of years.
I'll tell you, quarterback. If they decide to go with Ellinger, I'll tell you the backup I like for them to go after. I don't think we need to keep an old Foles or Ryan. I'd like to see him go after Trubisky to be the backup. I think Trubisky still hasn't got a fair shake. And
I kind of agree. I agree with that. I wouldn't
to be a backup.
Oh yeah, we'd have to throw a lot of money at Lamar to get him.
Yeah.
But if he was available, I'd like the Colts at least check into it and see if you can make a move for him, because I mean that'd be big. But I think what's going to happen with Lamar, I think he's going to get franchise tagged again, and then I think what the Ravens are going to end up doing, especially since they made that Roquan Smith trade, because Roquan Smith's contract is up this year too. So I don't think they brought him in to be a rental just for these 8 or 9 games. So I think they're going to end up franchise tagging Jackson, getting Roquan Smith's contract done, and then try to get Jackson's contract done the next year, which you're taking a chance because then he's a free agent.
Yeah, but Chris, if they don't get him some weapons,
they're
not going to. Even if they pay him, they're not going to win a Super Bowl if they don't get him better running backs or better receivers.
They got to give him some better receivers
and strengthen his running back position.
Yeah, well, I think if the running back, if they get guys to stay healthy, they wouldn't have been as bad. But at receiver, you traded away his best option, wide receiver wise, and Hollywood Brown. And I mean, now you just depend on that tight end, which he's good. Don't get me wrong, Mark Andrews is a hell of a tight end, but he's banged up right now.
Yeah,
and if he's your only weapon, it's a lot easier for they can triple team him because they don't have to. And Bateman getting hurt, because I think he's going to end up being a good receiver for him. I really do. Him getting hurt has hurt Baltimore. But for the Colts, I think I was kind of excited about how Ellinger played. Like I said, this week, the next couple weeks, because now teams have more footage on him, we're going to be able to game plan for him a little better. I think these next few weeks will tell more about how good he could be for us, because now they can game plan for him more, because you're going to start being more footage out on him. These defensive coordinators are going to be able to make to try to game plan better. So it's going to be fun to see. Like I said, it's going to be fun to see this weekend, especially now Taylor's out. Knowing Reich, he's probably going to get pass happy again.
Yeah.
So and that could be a mistake against Bill Belichick. But it's going to be interesting to see. I know we won't get to watch all the game because we got a wrestling show this weekend, but we'll get to watch some of it, listen to the rest of it on the radio like we normally do. But
New England's not been consistent this year, and hopefully our defense can. I would assume they've been starting the one guy again. Not been starting the rookie that they had. So I'm not sold on him. So hopefully they can.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. Patriots don't have a great offense either. So this game's gonna come down to me, whichever defense plays the best. And our defense has been playing pretty good.
Well, we collapsed there this last game there in the fourth quarter, but you only give up 17 points. Or
Anthony, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be all right with that if he's healthy. Get Michael Thomas next year if he's healthy, because I don't think he's ever playing for the Saints again. I don't think he wants to be there. I don't know if at this point if the Saints want him.
I'd go out. Yeah,
if he comes available, if he's healthy,
I believe
you get Michael Thomas with the other weapons we have.
Healthy Michael Thomas, in my opinion, Chris, is still a top 10 receiver.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You put him with Pittman and Pierce another year older. That would really boost.
And if the Colts can get him, what do you think of him going to a team like the Ravens?
I think that'd be a good move for the Ravens.
Yeah, because like you said, do you think that their running game, if it gets healthy, would be okay? If that's the case, you take a Thomas, and then with that tight end, because I know he's a tight end, but he's kind of like Kelsey and Kittle, basically a receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a receiving tight end. He's real good.
Because the difference between guys like Kelsey and them, they're so good after they get the ball in their hands. Most tight ends just catch the ball and don't get a lot of yardage after the carry.
Yeah.
These guys, they're receivers.
No, I agree with you. I was trying to look up. Jonathan Taylor's out.
Yep.
I think there's a couple players from New England out as well. That's what I was trying to.
But that's the thing, with the draft. The last couple of years, we've got players that are starting. Even Paris Campbell, I know he's in his third year, but he's been hurt so much. He's starting to pan out. I think Pierce is going to pan out. A lot of the defensive players have panned out. I think the general manager has done his job other than the quarterback position.
The Colts, from what I'm reading, Jonathan Taylor's ruled out, but with an ankle injury, but no plans to put him on IR. So it must not be real bad, but it's bad enough for he's missing another game.
Yeah.
But like no plans to put him on IR. So that's good news.
But I would say if this was a playoff game, he would play.
Probably.
But he either taped it up and took a shot or whatever.
Well, last week he got hit early and went to the tent and they taped it up. Then he was in the medical tent. Hell, he might have been in the medical tent getting a shot.
Yep.
I know people don't like to hear that, but hey, that stuff goes on a lot. Especially, I know what kind of shot they give him because I've got that same shot before. It helps. You feel good for a couple days, or a day and a half, or a day or so, but then after that pain comes right back. But that Toradol, it does help. Don't feel real good when they give it to you, but try and pull. I should be able to get to it this way. Try and pull up so I can see their who's all out injury wise. Here we go. Colts injury report. Matt Ryan out, which we knew that. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor out. Tony Brown at cornerback is out. Linebacker Stewart is out, and then linebacker Speed is questionable. For the Patriots. Damn.
Pacers.
For the Patriots, Damon Harris, running back, is questionable. Running back Pierre Strong Jr. is questionable. Defensive tackle Barmore is questionable. Safety Duggar is questionable, and linebacker Uche is questionable. So they have quite a few guys questionable, but not really nobody out. The spread has changed. It was at 5.5 for earlier. Now New England's a 6-point favorite
because of the Taylor being out.
Over unders at 40.5, and I could see this being a real low scoring game because Colts defense Colts defense is pretty good, and we'll see how New England defense does. Neither one of these teams' offenses really score a lot of points, so the under the 40.5 could definitely be in play in this game. I don't know how do you see this game going? Without Taylor, do you think we still have a shot to beat the Patriots?
If we don't turn the ball over, I think we beat them. But I am worried about Belichick against a rookie quarterback. I'll be honest with it.
Oh yeah, well we've seen it so many times.
And the other thing was Taylor not being there, and like you said, if they get pass happy, that ups the chances for mistakes. And he's a rookie quarterback, and I'm not putting him down. But experience is experience.
Yep.
So I think he may be the right guy, and I know that's hard to say after one game. I'd liked him at Texas. I like his movement. I like his arm strength. I think he might be the guy. I think he could be.
That was one thing you saw last week and it looked like it helped our offense some. Was he was able to scramble and avoid sacks and make some plays where Matt Ryan just couldn't. At this point in his career, Matt Ryan he's a statue. Where there was a couple times it looked like they had Ellinger for a sack where he was able to roll out and get rid of even if it wasn't a completion, get rid of the ball, don't take a sack.
But we need at the bare minimum, offensive line needs at least to be a middle of the road offensive line.
Your offensive line step up.
We're right now a bottom 10 offensive line. And that's ain't gonna make a difference who the quarterback is.
And what's bad about that is how much money the Colts have wrapped up in that offensive line. And look how quick the offensive line went to being one of the top offensive lines in the league. All of a sudden, we can't block nothing.
Well, that's what the coach told Matt Ryan. We sold you when you came here on a top 5 offensive line,
on the best running games,
top 2 or 3 running games in the league, and a bunch of young receivers though. But we that's what we sold him on, and we didn't deliver any of that. So and then everybody wants to blame Ryan. You got to blame the whole Colts team also, not just Ryan.
Well, that's what happened last year with Wentz. Everybody blamed Wentz for the Jacksonville loss, and they get rid of Wentz. Wentz ain't playing great this year, but Wentz didn't play terrible last year with the Colts.
I think it's Wentz's personality. rubs people the wrong way. I mean, the Washington coach already threw him under the bus before he got injured. I think I don't know.
Well, then the Washington coach came out and tried and basically backtracked on that.
Yeah, but probably had to.
If you look at the team stats, points per game, Colts score 16.1 points per game to New England's 22. Points allowed a game, Colts have allowed an average of 19.6 points per game to New England's 20.4. So the defenses allowing points are almost dead even. Total yards a game, the Colts are averaging 363 yards a game to New England's 349. Yards allowed, Colts are allowing 335 yards a game to New England's 368. So I mean, if you look at the numbers, they're pretty close.
And
really,
and the records are fairly close too, Chris. I mean, they're kind of even.
Colts allow passing yards. They are allowing 215 passing yards a game to New England's 242. So I mean, you just got to keep.
And the other thing we got to quit doing, because we quit shooting ourselves in the foot when getting first downs and having penalties, holding penalties and penalties.
It kills our drives.
It kills the drives. We got to stop that because our offense is not explosive enough to survive that.
New England's coming off a win against the Jets. New England's 3-2 in their last 5 games. And the Indianapolis Colts are 2-3 in their last 5. So Mikey, you see that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
I love Mikey.
He's crazy.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, Mike. But no, if you look at it, I mean, these two teams, all their numbers, everything, they match up pretty evenly. But I think New England has a lot better coach than what the Colts do. I think Belichick's a better coach, a lot better coach than Reich. Even though now you got former defensive coordinator calling plays, which has been a little strange with that. And I think, and that's what Mac Jones' issue has been. That's what's been Mac Jones' issue is that at the beginning of the season, they say he's a big why guy. He wants to know why you're wanting him to do something. Why, you know what I mean? And he wanted to know why you replaced the offensive coordinator with a defensive coordinator and a special teams coach. And I don't think I think that's part of the problem. Then they weren't happy he got his leg hurt. They wanted him to have surgery. He didn't want to have the surgery. I think that's part of the friction that's been in between them guys as well. Their offense looks better when I hate to say it, just because I mean nothing against Mac Jones, but their offenses look better with that when Zappy's played.
Yeah, it has.
It's an amazing show. My brothers, I look up to you guys every day. You don't have to look. You don't have to look very high to look up to us, though, because we're pretty short.
Definitely for me, that's for sure.
So yeah, especially you. But no, we appreciate it, Mike. Like I said, I love all the content you put out. I watch it all. Try to watch it anytime I can. But no, I think the key for this game, defense has to show up, play physical, and then going to be turnovers. We can't turn. He said that's true. I might be looking down.
Yep. I hope we don't get pass happy. I'm worried about that. We kind of did against Denver when Taylor was out. So I don't know. People will say we won that game. But
we got pass happy 2 games, but not last game, but the game before where Taylor only had 10 carries.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, last game. We started our quarterback first start, and we come out in that first series and have no running back in the backfield, Dad.
That's true.
I know. I mean, for your quarterback's first start, and you got 5 wide receivers, everybody spread out, nobody in the backfield. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here?
Where's one of our biggest fans been? I ain't seen Damien in a while on here.
Yeah, I don't know. He was on. He was. I think was he on the show earlier? I know he was on the show last night.
Because
one of them last night.
If he'd be on here right now, he'd be saying trade Taylor. That's what I said last week.
No, Mike, actually, I like that. I like Jackson. That's why it didn't bother me. it didn't bother me when they traded Hines because
I agree.
this Deion Jackson, when he's got an opportunity a couple times this year, has looked good.
Yep, I agree. He looked real good.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get to see probably him get the most carries he's got this season tomorrow.
Honestly, I think you'd agree with me. He's a more complete back than Hines.
Oh yeah,
Hines
he is,
because he's a stronger, bigger dude, and he still catches the ball good.
He's a big dude, and he runs so hard. Yep. He's not easy to tackle, and he catches the ball good out of the backfield. Mike said, "Don't run a good thing, Pops. It's a good time when Damien's gone." Yeah, he was on some of the shows yesterday. I don't think I've seen him today.
He was on a week ago, and he's wanting to trade after Jackson had that good game. You need to trade Taylor. He's wanting to trade Taylor after one.
Well, my goofy son says the Colts should trade Taylor. Yeah, remember?
He's not. Well, he's goofy. He don't know no sense. He's an Arizona Cardinal fan. That tells you something right there.
Yeah, he's worried about us trading Taylor. He needs to worry about Cliff Kingsbury as a coach.
Okay, how much sense does this make? He's an Arizona Cardinal fan, a St. Louis Cardinal fan, but he's not a Ball State Cardinal fan. And he lives in Muncie with Ball State. So you tell me how that makes sense.
And the NBA, it used to be Brooklyn, but I don't think he don't follow the NBA much anymore like he used to.
He used to like Brooklyn.
Because he liked Darren Williams. He's a big Darren Williams guy.
I don't understand that either.
I don't know.
That's a pretty kind of odd pick to be your favorite.
Mike said he's a fan of the Redbirds. Yeah, apparently. I think the St. Louis Cardinals one was just because we're Reds fans, and he knows that was a rivalry. Yeah. And he loved Albert Pujols.
Why Arizona Cardinals?
Arizona Cardinals was because he's a big Larry Fitzgerald fan.
He liked Pujols.
And that's why he was a big Cardinals fan too, was Pujols. He's always been a big Pujols guy, and Larry Fitzgerald's always been his favorite NFL player.
Yeah, he's kind of more of a player guy than team in a way.
Mike said his favorite NBA player is Steven Adams. I'm a weirdo too. Hey, yeah, he's more. That's why he is really. You're right. He's more of a player fan than he became a fan of the Cardinals because of the players on the team. Larry Fitzgerald. Yep. Now he's a big Kyler Murray guy.
You don't like the coach.
No, he hates that. He hates Cliff Kingsbury. I don't blame him. He should be gone. I think as well.
Our luck is he'll be gone, and the Colts will bring in.
I might switch to be a Bears fan if the Colts hire Kingsbury.
I agree. If the Colts hire him, I'll be a Bears fan.
I'll jump over to the Bears with Mike Hughes and Rob Scott.
I like the coach the Bears got. The Bears got right now.
Uncle Junior. We'll jump over there with them guys.
I will. If they get Kingsbury, I'll jump over to the Bears.
That'd be the last straw they hire Kingsbury.
Well, I already had my last straw with the Reds. I'm a Dodgers fan. They lost too, but at least the
only other coach they could hire that I'd probably say that as well. If they hired Matt Nagy, I'd become a Bears fan as well. If the Colts hired Matt Nagy, because
I'll be honest with you, the rumors are all college coaches, and I don't want a college coach. I don't
understand why you go after. Why not go after one of these coordinators that have been talked about getting jobs before you go after a college coach?
Yep. I'd rather see that.
I told you who I'd like to see. I don't even know if he wants to coach anymore, but I'd like to see Jim Caldwell come back to Indianapolis.
I'd like to see the former coach in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, Sean Payton. If we could get that done, that'd be awesome as well. I think he's going to end up in Los Angeles with the Chargers. I think they got that quarterback Herbert. I think he likes that. They got a strong defense. I think he could go in there and really change that team around.
I said they're maybe the Cowboys, but again, with Jerry Jones there.
And depending on how they do this year, I mean, if they make a deep run in the playoffs, I don't see McCarthy. Yeah, that was that catch I was telling you about last night.
Okay. Do you think
that catch saved the game for the Astros?
You think you think Dallas has to at least make it to the NFC Championship game to keep him there? Or he's got at least win one playoff.
I'll say at least win a playoff game, but it might take an NFC Championship game, especially if they go in healthy. If there ain't no more injuries, you know what I mean. And I mean, you gotta give McCarthy some credit. He loses his quarterback, and they were able to stay afloat. Was able to win the games while he was gone. Only lost one game, so I know everybody wants to talk about how great Cooper Rush was, but you got to give some credit to the coaching staff for that as well.
Let me ask you this question. I know it's not on the Colts. Eagles go undefeated?
I don't think so. I'm still not sold on the Eagles. I know they're 8-0.
Who's going to beat them? Have you seen their schedule?
I haven't looked at their schedule.
All they got, the toughest team they got left is Dallas and the Giants.
Don't play the 49ers?
I don't believe so. They got a pretty easy schedule. Yeah. It's going to be the Dallas or the Giants as far as record-wise. That's anything.
See, that's I agree with you, Mike. He said he thinks the Eagles are low-key frauds because of their schedule. And that's kind of how I kind of feel about them, too. He said the goddamn Bears are going to beat the Pops.
Well, I hope you're right.
He said he thinks that the Saints might beat them, which the Saints did play. When that Saints defense is on and playing, I think they would have a chance.
But was it the Saints, or was it the way the Raiders looked? I mean, I thought the defense played good. I mean, they was all over Carr.
When their defense plays good, I think they would have a chance. I think Dallas has a chance to beat them too, because Dallas was in that game last time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Cooper Rush start that game?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not saying Dak's great, but I mean,
I think of Dallas. Well,
but I think they're going to have trouble with San Francisco in the playoffs. I think 49ers are going to be a tough out in the playoffs, especially if they're healthy.
Texans ran the football all over Philadelphia. They had that one running back at 139 yards.
Yep.
So,
well, if you look, Philadelphia ranks like 29th in the league against the rush. Their defense struggles against running the ball. You got anything else with the Colts before we get ready to jump off?
I'm good to go.
Got Sam Ellinger making the second start against Bill Belichick. That Bill Belichick's defense. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I think Colts, like I said, I took the Colts at the +5.5 earlier on the sports betting show. It's up to +6 now. Because even if the Colts lose this game, I see this game being maybe 20-17, or I think this is going to be a low scoring game.
Kind of like the Washington game.
Yeah. Like I said, when do you see Foles coming in? I don't know if he'll get in. I think unless Ellinger just starts playing terrible, I don't think we'll see Foles. I think they really wanted to see what they got, or an injury. I mean, I don't. With the offensive line we have, I don't know if Nick, how good Nick would be with us, just because he's not real mobile either. And this offensive line is not playing very good this year. But we appreciate everybody watching. This has been Horseshoe Talk. We'll be back. We won't be live Sunday we won't do a watch along Sunday because we'll be on the road for part of the game, going to a wrestling show that we're going to be doing. Don't think we're going to be able to stream the wrestling show live, but so we'll probably be streaming it on probably air it Monday. We'll let you guys know once we get down there and get more information on that. But we will be back Monday with Horseshoe Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll recap the game against New England. Check out Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find it at Gonzo Sports Room, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and at the All Sports All Plays Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. But we appreciate it. That's only another show tonight, right? Yeah. And then tomorrow at noon, we're going to be doing a live watch along. If you're a pro wrestling fan, we're going to be doing live watch along in reaction to WWE Crown Jewel. Got the big match with Roman Reigns against Logan Paul going on. And if you've been watching that, Sami Zayn's the best thing going on right now.
No, Sammy won't be there.
Sammy won't be there?
No, he won't be there.
Yeah. I forgot. He can't.
He can't go there.
Yeah, he can't go. He's not allowed to go there.
No. But the Usos will be there, and Paul's brother's there. He was at the press conference today, and
they usually travel together about everywhere they go.
So they're there.
It should be a good show tomorrow. So if you're, like you said, if you're a wrestling fan, join us at noon for that. I still haven't decided for sure on the UFC. I'm going back and forth for that for tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know about that. We will be live next Saturday for that big UFC pay-per-view with a live watch along and reaction to that. But I don't know about tomorrow's yet. We'll see how the first pay-per-view goes and how I'm feeling after that.
Yep.
But we appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate it. And like and follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. That's where I post all the information about all of our shows. And you can find us at Gonzo Sports Room and the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network as well. They're on all social media as well. A lot of great shows over there. We got Mike Hughes with his Mike on the Mic and his new show with Rob Scott Bullshit. You got ASAP in the morning. It's a good morning show. I do the afternoon show at 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. You got Unscripted with Jay McLovin and them guys. For a lot of talented guys on the ASAP network, so make sure you check them out as well. And we appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern with some more Horseshoe Talk.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.